Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. It's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
And this will make it into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. 20.
Come on, bring it, baby. Bring it.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, 77 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, he can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
That's caught. And he will get in to make it 8-0. They wasted no time showing how aggressive they're going to be in this game. They get the quick score, and then they go for 2, CD.
Surf's up, partner. And when surf's up, you ride the wave. They felt great about that quick drive, put it in the end zone. Why not go for 2? They felt comfortable with the play call that they had.
And the home crowd loves it. The Giants go to work on offense for the first time, and it's Daniel Jones leading the way, the number 6 pick in the 2019 draft. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
At the 25-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Caden Smith, the tight end, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Fights through, and now a crease. And they work this out past the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
It's another 1st down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
7-yard line.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They got 29 yards that time. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 24. And he breaks through another tackle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives are impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
At the 27-yard line.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
He's brought down at the 31. 5 yards on the play.
From the gun, Jones. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have a Giants first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
8-yard pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun, Jones. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith.
Jones pass.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Some space here. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 97 yards. As the Ravens push further out in front. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind you're thinking Lamar Jackson getting the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. So the 2-point conversion trend continues, at least as far as trying those goes. They've attempted them after all 3 touchdowns, CD, and converted now 2 of them.
They're not just dipping their toe in the water, are they? I mean, they're committed to going for 2 points, and 2 out of 3, now with a 22-0 lead. In a sense, they're a little bit ahead of the curve, because normally it would be 21, wouldn't it?
And with the way their defense is playing, I don't know if it matters if they do convert any of these. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively. or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
A second broken tackle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And they're able to get this one past the 30, down to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And you know he wants to make the most of every carry because he competes with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 4 carries and yardage. But Mark Ingram, over 1,000 yards last season. And then the Ravens went out and drafted J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the second round. So now the Ravens potentially have 2 guys to pair with Lamar Jackson in the run game. Wishbone formation, anyone?
First and
good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking it.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead, his 4th touchdown on the year, and the Ravens will extend their lead.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who does have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
New York set to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get...
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football, and the Ravens have got it.
Lamar Jackson sacked.
He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
That is caught in the 7. And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. That was good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stat. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to pour it on. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the two-point conversion. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the 2, or I should say third and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
But the focus shifts back to Daniel Jones and company. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the
ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Touchdown.
And remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Well, right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Smith catches left side.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing again on second down. Jones sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Calais Campbell in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
For the Giants.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
From the gun, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man complete. So we're at halftime here in the end of the first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half.
Justin Tucker to kick off.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. Takes this about 5 yards deep, and Ballantyne going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Calais Campbell able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. Oh, that's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now Jackson on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And got his man complete. Past the 20.
What a play.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, 97 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing? I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Lions take over first and 10. At their own.
New York ready to go again offensively. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
19 yards there on the catch and run. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now they'll run with Lewis. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
We got three, fellas. We got 3.
Here's Jones throwing on first down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. That catch good for only a couple.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30.
30-yard line.
He'll give this one to Ingram to start things out. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Marquise Brown, incomplete. Leads to 2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line.
To throw again. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points.
That makes the score.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked-off folks on the other sideline now.
And Valentine going to sit on this one. That'll be a touchback.
25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field. Certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot. Great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
They turned the ball over last time. We'll see if they can avoid doing it here. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Jones. Over the middle to Smith.
Jones.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. The Giants on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Jones. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So now once again, the Ravens will go for 2. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Jones hit and the ball's out. And the Ravens have got it.
Lamar Jackson sacked.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. They'll start by running the option to the right. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's a gain of 3.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Mark Ingram unable to get past the marker. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Jones going to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Tate. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Jones now on 3rd and 2. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
It's on the play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Jalen Ferguson. Lamar
able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception.
Don't worry about it.
Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That's the story of the game They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Giants nothing. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Jones. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Has been a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Over the middle here to Brown. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Ravens, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will hit the road next week to